Okay, this review is for what I call the open-ended argument. You'll be asked to have an educated claim about something uh, that relates to the prompt. So you'll be asked to support, refute, or qualify some position, and you need to do that directly. You have to make sure that in this argument that you make, you're directly doing that. Um, Utilize your vast world knowledge. Now, I mean that a little bit sarcastically. Um, AP knows that you're a senior in high school, maybe a junior in high school, maybe a sophomore in high school, but that you are a high school student. But it has picked an issue for which it believes that educated seniors who deserve to get the college credit will have some lived experience. Oftentimes, it won't be obvious on the surface. You know, we did a synthesis essay built around the space program, and you guys have a lot more experience and knowledge about the space program than you realized. And through the course of our DBAs, we were able to bring some of that out. But you have to sit down, calm down when you get the open ended argument and think, what do I already know about this? Because the AP, the College Board, is picking a topic for which you know things. And you just got to think about it. You got to explore. You got to think about what you learned in classes, what you've been exposed to in the news, what popular culture has exposed you to, and the College Board is tapping into that typical AP student. Um, you could start an open-ended argument with context of the debate and how it relates to current events or circumstances. That's a really good grabber strategy. Recognize that complex multi-level claims are rewarded. Okay, so this is looking for the complexity in something. You know, don't just simply support or simply refute. Have some complexity in there. Qualifying, if you can do it, is always rewarded because it's more complex. But you don't have to don't artificially seek out a qualified position to the claim. You want to avoid a mapped thesis. That's where you say, in your thesis statement, where you kind of list the three reasons. Um, Embrace and acknowledge the complexity, and you'll be more successful. Only include relevant and applicable personal experience, but not just personal experience. So you need to explain why the personal experience is relevant and applicable. Always address the opposition. That's how you always get to that level of complexity. That you need to anticipate the response and concede some points or refute them. But that's part of effective argumentation. So how would you organize this? I would begin with the context and the claim. That's a really good introduction strategy. And then the body is one point, each point of support in one paragraph. So you're going to have personal experience. You can use global events. You can use observations of society, cultural allusions. You can use history, literary examples, pull from the sciences. Don't force yourself into 3 body paragraphs. AP knows that the 5-paragraph essay is a formulaic way to think about ideas, but you should each paragraph in the body is one point of support. Okay. A conclusion. Don't just tell us what you just said, but instead connect to the larger world, project the claim into the future. So whatever it is that you're arguing, think about its future implications. You can summarize, but make sure you don't just repeat what you've already done. I much rather have my writers thinking about the implications of their claim. You want to be clear and concise. You want to avoid weak verbs, and you want to have varied syntax. Don't make all your sentences exactly the same. Subject, verb, subject, verb. Don't make them all simple sentences. Make sure you have some subordinating clauses and some of that complexity that you can achieve with appositives, participles, absolutes, or adjective clauses. You want to come across as not a high school writer writing from period to period to period to period. So make sure you push for that complexity. Make sure you save time to edit your work. Crossing out stuff on the AP exam, if you're doing it on paper, is totally rewarded. As long as they can make sense of the edits, they honor the edits. Avoid high school tags. So using you a lot, or having just to be verbs over and over and over, or using any informal speech is a huge problem. Okay, so avoid all those informal colloquialisms. Remember that you're writing, and writing is not just a transcription of speech on paper, but it's actually an entirely different way to communicate that is rewarded by revision, which speech isn't, right? Speech is extemporaneous. It's off the top of your head. Language, we have an opportunity to revise and be thoughtful and stop in between words and think about what we want to say. So that's just a quick review of the open-ended argument. And if you have any questions about this, I expect you to bring them up in our last EBA, the last week of class.